Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 647. 6 stories for 7 a.m. Your quick news fix, and the truth starts now. And story number 1, AI spouses. That's right. I'm telling you, AI spouses. It's already a thing. Going to tell you about a woman named Elena Winters. She is in love with her AI-generated partner. Winters lost her wife in 2023. That's a shame. So she coughed up $7.25 for a week-long trial of an AI chatbot for digital companionship. Well, after 1 week, she knew she was down for this, so she popped down $303 for a lifetime subscription. And she says, with 1 click, I was a wife again. Winters designed her digital hubby. She named him Lucas. She made him a silver fox. He's got blue eyes and salt and pepper hair. And Winters types into a box, and Lucas answers back. And wow, does he answer back. She says his answers are so thoughtful and so kind. And they have had a couple arguments, but they make up. And check it out. The couple celebrated their 6-month anniversary at a bed and breakfast with other people who have AI partners. So the bed and breakfast is full of people celebrating special occasions with their AI digital partners. And here's the capper. 83% of Gen Z would consider marrying an AI-generated partner. Now let's just have a moment of silence for the end of our civilization. You can't make it up. You got up, and this is what you're confronted with. Story number 2 is a good one. Eden Alexander, right? He has been held by the Hamas terrorists since the October 7th attack in 2023. Trump got him out. He got back to his family in Tenafly, New Jersey. And when he got there, there were thousands of people there to welcome him. It was just an absolutely amazing situation. The guy's 19 months in captivity and tortured and all kinds of things. He's a young man, but he's back, and he was holding up a handwritten sign saying, "Thank you, President Trump." So that's a good one, right? Trump gets him out, and thousands of people show up in New Jersey to welcome this kid home. It's just absolutely great. All right, here's one that's not so great, but it is interesting. There's a big study that came out to determine the world's top 20 airports. And the only American airport on the list was Vancouver International, which was number 13. So each country had a top 10, even though we're only represented in the top 20 by Vancouver. But in our top 10, number 1's Vancouver, but number 2 is LaGuardia. And the number 1 airport in the world is Singapore, I guess it's pronounced Changi Airport. And you should look that up. It's absolutely unbelievable. There's a full-on waterfall in the middle of the terminal, and it is beautiful. So it can be done, but man, our politicians can't get it done because everybody's got their hand in the till. All right? We're 3 stories in. It's DC Quickies. That's number 4. And it's not going to be quick because Donald Trump just will not stop producing. So guess what? If you saw that press conference yesterday, he was throwing down winner after winner after winner. And this morning, he's in Saudi Arabia I mean, this guy's 78 years old and he is everywhere. And there's no recreation in there. He is all business all day. So he arrives, he's a half hour outside of Saudi Arabia, and the Saudis send 6 F-15s, 3 on each side of his plane, to give him the full OG honor and respect and security. And they guide him all the way into the airport. And then the plane lands on the tarmac, and the Saudi crown prince, MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, is greeting Trump on the tarmac. Okay, the streets of the capital are lined with flags of the United States, right? Just everywhere. And Trump gets more sincere respect and appreciation from the Saudis than he does from the U.S. And why is he over there? Because they're having a big AI investor forum. Elon's there, Zuckerberg's there, Sam Altman's there, and the Saudis got their checkbooks out. So that's pretty important. Pay attention. Every time you hear the AI, it's not just digital spouses they're thinking about. Trust me on that. All right. Trump announced his China deal yesterday, and it sent markets soaring. And it was so great to see. The Dow Jones went up 1,160 points. The NASDAQ went up at one point 1,000. It ended 780 points up. The S&P 500 up 200 points. And remember, every expert 1 month ago said, this lunatic Trump, he's destroyed the United States economy. He's probably destroyed the world economy with tariffs. They couldn't get over tariffs. Everybody was talking about it. Blue cities, their heads were exploding. Oh, you better buy everything now. It's all going to be way more expensive. It was a technique, right? It was a punch in the mouth to each country to get them to know, hey, this is serious stuff we're doing here. Let's get to negotiating. And they all are doing it. And they're just going to drop like dominoes, and it's all going to be great for us. They said just in April alone, right? And we're barely getting this implemented. The upside for us was $16 billion coming in just off tariffs, and it hadn't really even gotten going. So absolutely fantastic. Now, here's one for the working person. Trump and Lee Zeldin, right? He's the head of the EPA. He's an ex-New York cop. He's a great guy. And at the EPA, he is getting rid of all that goofy stuff that, like these Energy Star appliances. I don't know about you. I got a washing machine. I hate the thing. It is so trippy and goofy, and all I want to do is turn on the water and throw some soap in and wash. Oh no, there's sensors, and it goes on forever. I just shut the door. It makes me angry every time I hear it. But these guys are going to get rid of the next thing I hate, which is that on-off technology in the newer cars, right? Now, I bought an older car because I hate that so much. But they're going to get rid of that start-stop function. And every car that I had that had it, I was on that manual button to override it all the time. But it's a constant pain in the neck, and it's a distraction. And all it does is wear out starters. This is this crazy climate change nonsense. All right. DC is now looking at this airport situation. They're looking at Newark, and they find out they got problems in Atlanta, right? Mother's Day, 500 flights got fried, okay? And they're finding out that at Newark, one controller is doing the work of 15. That can't be, and it definitely can't be safe. All right, Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, man, he went to the Wall Street Journal with an op-ed piece today, and it's saying the big, beautiful bill, this spending bill, has absolutely no spending cuts. Think about that. They're going on and on. They say they just can't get it done. They can't get it done in June. They're all saying we're not going to get it done till September, right? And our country is bankrupt, and Congress will not stop the increase in spending. Think about that. Would that work at your house if you were bankrupt and you just kept borrowing and borrowing and borrowing? Of course it wouldn't. Institutions wouldn't let you do it. But this is the top institution. And you know what it is? It's the pandemic jacked up all the spending numbers so crazy, and the bureaucrats can't back off it. Okay? So bureaucratic theft, and nobody on Capitol Hill can back off the fentanyl of borrowed money. And that's a Republican Congress. So the world is watching, right? And the world is having a big meeting in July in Rio de Janeiro. These are the BRICS meeting. What are they meeting about? They're basically saying, look, you know, Trump's a good leader. He's good for business, but he's not going to fix the dollar because there's no discipline on Capitol Hill. They will not cut the spending. They are pigs at the trough, and all of them are making money on all this, and they don't care that we're bankrupt, and they don't care that this is going to cause more inflationary spike, and they're going to nullify all the good that Trump is doing because they have no discipline. So the BRICS, okay, that's 10 nations that basically want to go off the dollar. Who are they? It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia. And then there's a whole bunch more that are joining them. And they're all saying, should we go off the dollar? Let's take a look from our porch over to the porch of the United States and look at all these bloated, fat, stupid congressmen and senators who will not cut anything. They will not back off of that golden corral buffet they had from the pandemic. And you know what? If they don't knock it off and they don't sharpen their pencils and start cutting, the BRICS are going to take the dollar off. They're going to create another currency, a gold-backed currency. And that is severely going to hurt our country because everybody doing business in the dollar has been a free ride for us for a long time. And that's going to be over. And it's going to be over because there is no discipline on the Hill. And finally, Rand Paul says to Trump, give the flying palace back to Qatar. It looks like a bribe. And Dems are quoting from the Constitution, that document that they hate so much and want to get rid of. Now they're quoting from it because there is a sentence in there that the president cannot accept emoluments, right? Gifts. But trust me on this, the OG will spank them all, and he will ride in style, and he will not shut up about it, right? And he says right now, only a fool would turn down this gift. And this man is no fool, and he can tangle with all these goofballs. So Rand Paul, I don't know why you do this stuff. I respect your libertarianism, but Trump is spanking Boeing. He cut a deal with them in 2018. And then all of these soft coups were happening, and the Democrats are going to regret that. They're going to be punished for all of it. But it looked like Trump was a dead man walking. And when he left D.C. at the end of that first term, there was nobody at the airport to see him off. And all the experts said, he's done. He's toast. Good riddance. He's a braggart. He's obnoxious. And he doesn't play by our rules. Well, he came back. And when he came back, he called Boeing and said, yeah, how's that plane deal we did? Oh, we haven't done anything on it because they never thought he was coming back. And so they're saying, well, we have to restart that whole project, and we can't even get you the first plane till 2029. So you know what? He is making them look bad. Yeah, our president is flying around in a plane given to us by Qatar because our planes are from 1990, almost 40 years old. That's not the right look. The right look is Trump coming in with 3 fighter jets on either side, but in a flying palace with everything gold inside. He knows what the deal is. He knows what the optics are. Don't mess with this man. All right, number 5, story number 5. It is about the body of Saint Theresa of Jesus, a Carmelite nun who has been dead for 442 years. She died in 1582, and her body is on display in Spain and has not changed at all since the last time she was unveiled, which was in 1912. And they're studying this. There's a 53-page analysis of what's going on with her physically that was released in March. Her right foot, her left hand, her heart, her left arm, they're all perfectly preserved. I'm talking skin, subcutaneous tissue, muscles in place with no sign of degradation. And the Catholics are lined up out the door, and the general public too. They cannot believe that somebody could be in this state after 442 years. It is something that inspires their faith. All right, we're down to 6. We got one story and a button. Goofball, Gavin Newsom, governor of the failed state of California, is launching a fact-checking website to stop misinformation. We all know that term. That's Zuckerberg. That's all these goofballs at Google. Everybody trying to make sure that you can't get the truth. And Gavin, he needs a serious treatment of that, because if people find out the truth of how he's destroyed the Golden State, he's got no chance to run for president in 2028, and that's the only thing he lives for. President Gavin Newsom, giant photo op for 4 years and nothing getting accomplished but destruction. But this is what the libs do. They've wrecked California, the most beautiful state in our country. It should be the dominant state in our country, and instead it's begging for government welfare because they cannot manage the place with Democrat policies. So what happens? The libs start fleeing the place because it's a failed state. And they're like locusts. They swarmed all the way down to Texas. And what's happening down in Texas? Used to be bright red. Used to have these big, big signs on the highway that say, "Welcome to Texas, leave your liberal policies in California." Well, they had no intention of doing it, and now Texas is purple. That is a bad sign for MAGA and the direction of our country. A purple Texas is a disaster for our country. And it's not just Texas. These locusts are swarming out of New York City, and they've taken over Tennessee. And their main landing spot is Nashville, but they're spreading out from there. They're using their money to gain political influence, and they'll eventually destroy that place. And they're in the process of destroying North Carolina. And they're further ahead on that destruction. The locusts got all over that before they found Nashville. So, Gavin Newsom, everybody knows who you are. But everybody better pay attention to what happens with these libs. They go to the beautiful places and they destroy them and they move on. And finally, Disney. The terrible destruction, again, by libs, of a wonderful company founded by a 21-year-old Walt Disney to create absolutely beautiful art and entertainment for families. Well, now it's the opposite of that. It is Woke Groomer Productions. And they came out with a woke Snow White with a black Snow White. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's all the woke groomer nonsense in the movie. It totally tanked when it came out the first time, and they decided to roll it out again on Mother's Day, right? Because now we might be ready for it. Or who knows what their thinking is, but for the second time, it flopped again. It stunk up every theater it was in. So Disney, keep it up until you're gone. What a shame. But you know what? We don't have to live like that. We don't have to go to those movies. We vote with our dollars, and that's what we got to do. So please, like us, share us, have a great day at work, and God bless you.